Peppy. Welcome to Sparta. We're not going to be on long at night at all. Just basically say the Lord's Prayer, say a few things, maybe say hello if anyone comes. But other than that, I'm going to stay on about 5 minutes tops. I've got something very important to do. And yes, I've been delaying my live because, well, I'm a busy man. Hello, how are you going? We're just about to do the Lord's Prayer. I'm going to be on long tonight, about 5 minutes. I've got something very busy to do. Very busy indeed, and I've got to go for a long drive. Sort some things out. So, here we go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. Hello, Kiki Eyes. How are you going? Yes, we do have to get rid of the black owl. We do. That's just some of the points I'm going to make. I've like said 5-10 minutes and I've got to pop off. No, time's critical, but not so critical, but I just want to get on the move because it's a long drive. And it's late already. Yes, the black owl. She's always been there. Always been in the back. And I told Jag, even though when the first calamity, which drove Magic crazy, because that's not what she expected. Not what anyone expected, actually. Didn't work, whatever they planned. But yes, I said you can't leave an enemy at your back, because eventually he'll come to you. Eventually. Well, a quick revision over the 7 signs, and they're right there in front of us every day. Now, 7 signs that Jesus is coming around the corner. That he's coming, actually he is coming. The 7th sign is, lovelessness. Plenty of that around in the world. We see a lot of that on YouTube. I'm glad I've got some people like yourself, Kiki Eyes, Saga Reveal, and a few of the good ones. We've got our own little sort of, heartfelt group. Although, though Archie goes a bit of astray, he doesn't mind, swaying the axe every now and again when he has to. But that's part of my job as a weapon. when you've got to judge someone, like we do in the courts and that, well, it's a bit different when you're an angel. And we're coming to that time. It's hard, though, as a man, because I have to abide by these men laws. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe they had a little side bet and said, I bet you can't do it all as a man if you take the powers away from you. Could be. We don't know what the father and son do. It's their game. Well, the sixth sign is increased in the supernatural, and we've seen plenty of that. We've seen it right in front of our faces. We've seen even the connection words, or the secret bloody code they use, pizza, and all that, 7 types of pizza. Yeah, okay. False Christ, we've seen a few of them rock out every now and again. False Christs. Don't have to name them. They either put their name in the place of Christ or God, or they dress up like him and come out and claim to be the faithful. So, denying Jesus is coming at all. We hear people screaming that in the street, that they don't love him, he doesn't exist. He's even gay, but he's not. If Jesus was gay, it's only because he's happy, right? I don't know Jesus' preference. I never asked him. Maybe you have to ask him one day. He might quite surprise you. Okay, one of the signs is the environment crisis. The environment is, we're getting pretty screwed up with this environment. We've got to take care of it, or it won't take care of us. No plastics and everything, pollution everywhere. No lead in the bloody water we drink. The gospel is being spread around the world. You can go into any desert in the middle of the world, anywhere, and you can speak about Jesus, and they'll know who he is, even though they may not follow him. So that has been done. And the last sign is the age of technology. In the book of Revelations, chapter 13, verse 15, it talks about how they animate the second beast, which is a statue. That's Daniel. And he breathes life into the first beast. Now, back then, when they had the terminology 2,000 years ago, they couldn't say robot, they couldn't say AI, they could say animated statue, or they made a statue come to life. And what do we do when we make statues come to life? They're either puppets, or like now, AI, or a robot. And that one's going to declare to the whole world, because they believe it, that it's the Messiah of some sort, Daniel, that if you don't put the number of the beast on you, you're going to get executed. And it's going to convince a lot of people. And that's written in the Bible. Cannot help that. When you look at that Bible, when it's talking in the Revelations, which is mainly the part to do with us, because that's the times we're living in, you have to bring up all the terminology in that book to the modern standard. You know? Back then they were talking about riding a donkey. Now it'll be a Maserati. You know what I'm saying? Or a Volkswagen. You know? Or a push bike. You know, back then morality was a bit different than now. Slavery was rampant, still is over there. They still stone women in that country over there. Most of those countries over there for infidelities. But if the man that does it, oh, that's right. Slap on the wrist. Blame his woman for not being able to keep him enough. So they give her a hide anyway. For doing nothing. Oh, you mustn't have showed too much for your man. That's why he went around. And that's just how silly it is. And you have these women that have been indoctrinated from birth that truly believe in that faith of being subservient, like to the max. But then just like Christianity, there's all different aspects and views and factions of Christianity, same in the Muslim society. There's all different types there. Undertaker, WWE, yeah, I wish. Try to keep the Caps down, guys, because it makes the algorithm go stupid for some reason. But it is a fact. Undertaker. As long as you're not being nasty, I can handle that one. I like the Undertaker, and I don't mind Sting either. He was pretty cool. He was pretty cool. If my late partner was alive, she'd tell you all about wrestling. She knows all about that. She likes those big, muscly men. And she was only 5 foot flat. But this as I miss it because I could just look over straight over the top of her head. Rest my can on it, you know. uh, I do miss her though. I do miss her. But maybe there was a reason that had to happen. Maybe there was a reason. Might be something genetic in the code. That side of their family. Because, well, what can I say there? My daughter, Sophia, born with the same amount of birthmarks in the same places, and a lot of them the same shape. And when you're born with more than 7 or 8 birthmarks around your body, you've got maybe have some sort of genetic alteration going on in your DNA. So you've got to go and get checked, especially if you've got lots more. And it's not got to do with the skin. It could be something deeper. Like with them, it could bring on cancer. Right? And when I had this doctor's interview with my daughter, sitting there, she heard that, and I caught her at the corner of my eye, and she winced a bit like she was very sad because just like her mother died in her mid-30s. So that kid, being 12 going on 13, absorbing all that. And it wasn't much long after that, about 2 weeks after that, she started playing up, wagging school, not going to English. Then she started running away from home, like when I go to pick her up from school. She wouldn't be there because she didn't want to confront the fact that she'd been wagging school all day. And she knew she was going to get in trouble, but nothing to do. Just wasn't allowed to see her friends for a week. Maybe lose some of the electronic fucking capabilities. Hello, Vida Goddess, how are you going? Good to see you in my chat. Yes, I'm only going to be on a short while. Just a short while. I've got something to do. I've got to go for a long drive. Got to go and sort out some people, help them out. And yes. So, RALPH the Unwise, hey? Or how's he calling himself? RALPH the Wise. I had to look. I was watching his shit. I don't see the fanfare, guys. I really don't see the attraction there. I mean, if to use women, he might be sort of a handsome man. I don't know. I don't gauge men. I don't look at men like that. You know? You know when you see a handsome gentleman, but you're not going to say as a man to a man, you don't really say that. You don't let them know that. That's just the way a man is. The way I am, anyway. But yes, I don't see why there's such a fanfare there. What, because everyone wants to flock there? Because you've got all these tubby lard asses that want to actually ride that man, and they don't know how to go around it? You know what I'm saying? They all talk like they're in fucking love with him. Hey, Ralph. Hey, Ralphie. Hey, Ralphie boy. Hey, and I was looking at it and I say, oh my God, there's that much fucking drool in the chat, I slipped straight out. Didn't want to watch that no more. But it's crazy. And the funniest thing is, especially one of them being golden, well, the whole reason I met her was all about the incident of a man saying how beautiful a woman was, but going overboard. Like he was a bit, a bit dirty, old man style, which it was in the end when we watched it. And that's how I met her, and now I find them in the chat like flapping seals, waiting for him to give them a sausage. I don't know. Maybe people are just too complacent. They want the Uber relationship. Can I have an Uber relationship? When I finish with him, you can take them home. I want all the benefits, but I don't want crazy. And I see through all the bullshit. So what's the attraction? What are they attracted there for? They're not making any money. They're not holding hands going out on a fucking date. All they're doing is bullying people that they may not agree to or like, and there's just a common group that gets together and bullies people. Well, he's gone and bullied the wrong guy, hasn't he? Hasn't he? He went and bullied Odell. Well, he thought he could. And see, Odell's like me. We don't go really, we're kind of stuck with this because that's the way it's going to be, but we don't like it. Usually when you've got the problem with a man, you face him on the side. You go and see him, knock on the door, say, step out to the office, and we can have a bit of a business transaction and sort things out. And also, well, what can I say? If that man has got the missus and she's giving a mouth to you, or you find one of these online content creators that got a female, that's there going off at you, calling you this and that, well, you just find out whether they got a man. Because you don't approach the girl, because you can't hit girls. And a man yelling at girls and overbearing of girls, well, what's that really? That doesn't make him a man. No, a man goes and looks for her man, grabs him by the collar and say, curb your fucking missus, or I'm going to have to make you piss. Now, even if they're going to cow down to you, because they're a lesser man, which you find a lot of them are, because they're already cowing down to their missus. That's why she carries on like that. Or they fucking want to have a rip. But they don't go through the woman. And then when the woman comes out and she's carrying on, don't hit my man, that's when you really hurt him. And say, next time it's going to be you. You know? That's how you deal with man stuff, but you can't do that. It's too violent. Hey, this archangel, he's too violent. He's not like the archangel we see. But if you see the archangel, you see, the imagery, he's always carrying a fucking sword. He's always ready to chop somebody's head off. You know what I'm saying? I think someone is in the air. I've never seen a real man act this way. Oh, you've never seen a real man act this way. We obviously have never met one. And now's your first one. How about that? I can take you out to the blackness of black. The places where no other man can go but me. Right? Like I was quoting. If you want to check a man out, I was in Vita Goddess's bloody chat earlier on today, not that long ago. If you want to really gauge a man, if they think they're a man, come out to me, with me, 3 days in the Australian outback. I guarantee you'll be coming home crying like a girl. Okay? And that's a fact. No matter how hard you think you are, no matter how good you think you are, if I take you out there, you'll be coming back and you'll never want to do that again. You'll still be a man. No doubt about that. If you stay out there, it depends on how you react. You might just take off through the bush and I might never find you. And that's the end of you. When I show you what I've got to show you. Very fucking strange. But you get that. A man doesn't act this way. A man acts all these ways. You got all these ones online, and they're supposed to be so-called men. And how do they act? Covered in fucking tattoos, saying, oh, I'm the beefcake and that, and what they end up getting doing? 20 years in jail for bashing their missus. Or find out they've been touching underage kids. Or worse. All your stars, all your celebrities, all these guys that are so big and that, getting it wrong with all their fucking muscles and all their followers, all on the TikTok. Got an elephant like this here, walk along with his little duck-ass walk, with his big huge arms. You walk up to him with a shovel and say, come and dig this swimming pool at the back of me. He'll say whatever he can before he even touches that shovel, because he's not a man. I can gauge a man with a shovel. This end's for digging, this end's for holding. You can't sit on a fucking shovel for 8 hours a day. You're not a man. You're not a man if you can't do a chin-up. You can't do one chin-up, you're a waste of oxygen. The only men that are allowed to get away with that is a disabled man or a man that's in his retirement age. I know retirees that are shit all over these so-called men. There's real men out there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. And you're looking at one of them. I am just a little bit different. I've been through a few things, a lot of things more. And what I'm trying to do is bring a message to the world, not so much a preacher. I'm not a prophet or a preacher. You don't have to listen. I'm not going to force you by saying, make it wane. Or tell you you're going to hell if you don't give at the collection plate at the end of the sermon. Or give 20% of your country's wealth to a country that all it does is propagate wars and follows Baal, a bull demon. Well, half the country around the world follows a guy that was a tyrant, found a 6-year-old, married her at 9, and because he was such a tyrant, I can declare I am the Messiah. I come in war, conquer you all, you do as I say. But the only one that ever come in peace, ever hurt the fly, ever did anything wrong to anyone. And they punished him for many days before they even nailed him to the cross, was the true Messiah. And his name was Jesus. Not no Muhammad, not no Ramses, and not no Baal. Oh, them ones come in war. All of them. Jesus came in peace. The only thing that he ever did that was aggressive, was tip up a few tables of money. He might have hit someone in the ankle by accident. And the only way he hurt them was they couldn't have that money anymore. See, when Jesus was walking around with his disciples, there's a bit of a problem first off. Not like they have in the movies or like you see in the book. He was accepted as a prophet. They think he's a bit funny saying he was the Messiah. But the Jewish people accepted him as a prophet. Because at that time, they were under the yoke of the fucking Roman Empire. And there was a resistance. Leader of one of the resistance factions was called Barabbas. Right? But he was like he wanted to get a hands-on approach with these resistance. Right? And they used to sit back with Jesus and debate the best way they should be praying to God. They understood what he was talking about. They was going to let him go. But the moment he ticked up those tax tables and cut their fucking wage away, well, hello, Lawrence Speak. They cut their money out of the business. He became a problem. Oh, they went to the king. Look at him. He's getting rid of the money. How are we going to pay you the annual taxes if he rips up the tables? He's a menace. Only becomes a menace when he's fucking messing with the money, see? Before that, he was fine. Just a hippie going around, just keep an eye on him. Sort of thing. No shit. It's only when he interfered with the money that they thought he was an asshole. And they thought, oh, well, we're going to have to oust him, get rid of him. And then when it come to choosing between which prisoner was to be released, well, Barabbas being the leader of the revolution against the Romans, they naturally chose him. Naturally. Because Jesus was talking about peace and Barabbas was talking about war. See? Never hurt the fly. And he brought the best religion and the most true religion of them all. And it's not Christianity. He didn't go around calling himself a Christian. His name wasn't Jesus Christ. That wasn't Mary Christ. That wasn't Joseph Christ. I don't know what their last name was. Maybe I'll find out. Jesus Christ is God. Well, he is a part of God. See, that's kind of mixed up too. You have a look how they say that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All through that book, they make the woman look like a fucking idiot. Only 2 or 3 women in there that get a good say. The rest all look like harlots. Right? The woman's to blame. Right? That's not right. That's not true. It's the Father, the son, and the mother. That's the only way you're going to have a family. Even God knew this. That's why he had to use the vessel of Mary to bring forth Jesus. And Jesus couldn't be solely an angel from heaven. Wouldn't work that way. He had to be part of man like I am. He got to be born a man. It's a bit different. Okay? So he's half and half, if anything. And what you would look at that in the Greek mythology, that you call it a demigod. Well, he wasn't a demigod. He was Jesus, the Son of God, the Messiah. And he worked out around his father's algorithm that his dad had put in. And the algorithm that his father had put in, as he had only done a deal with the Jewish people when he helped them back in the Moses days, right, and took them out of the Exodus. But the thing is, they were the only ones going to heaven. Everyone on earth was going to hell because they had a covenant with God in the Old Testament. And that's why the Jews carry on so much now, because they don't really want to recognize the New Testament, see? Because the council's there to bargain out, because they haven't been keeping part of the deal with God. But that deal they had they got a special place. Well, they got a special place now because he wants to keep an eye right on them because they haven't been hanging up to their bargain. He would deal with them personally. That's the deal they made. So no one else was going up to fucking heaven. Now, God, he knew there was other good people out there. But in his rage, in his wrath, he didn't care. He only rescued the Jewish people to go to heaven. So they're the only ones going to heaven. So Jesus, well, how am I going to get everyone else up to heaven? Because there's a lot of good people here. Satan's going to win. He's going to stack the deck with all these souls. How are we going to win, Father? So he worked it out. 40 days he went out there and tried to work out how he was going to get around his father's algorithm. And he worked it out. He sacrificed himself. But he didn't sacrifice himself. They sacrificed him. And I know that people are not going to believe me about Judas. Judas got a bad rap. If you really knew the story, like I know the story, Judas was Jesus' best friend. He was his go-to man. Right when they found him, he was a thief. But he used to send him, I said, we need supplies, Judas. I'll turn the blind eye while you, turn the other cheek while you supply that for us. I don't know how you get it, Jesus, but as long as you supply it for us. And I'll give you something grandiose. And that money that he got paid, well, that was supposed to be a retirement fund he was going to give to Jesus' wife, Mary Magdalene. See, that Last Supper was a wedding. It was Jesus' wedding to Mary. The fact. That's a wedding. Right? Throughout the whole fucking Bible possession, he's out in the fields eating fucking bread. Bits of bloody, walking around barefoot. And then all of a sudden they're sitting there all fine and everything like that. Their Last Supper. No, he had a wedding. And he married her. And that's a fact. And because Jesus had to be sacrificed, see, but he couldn't out himself. He couldn't go up to the Romans and up and say, well, I'm the guy you're looking for. Arrest me. So he went to his go-to guy that he always goes to. He said, I know you're going to get a bad rap for this, Judas, but you need to go and oust me out. When they offer you 20 fucking coins, I want you to double it. Right? And then I want you to go and give it to my wife. And I know you like her, Judas. And guess what, Judas? You could marry her and look after her for me. All right? Because you've been so good. You've done all the nasty work for me. To keep me off the hook. And Judas said, why? Why do I have to do this? He said, well, if I go and oust myself, that's suicide. And this thing, what I'm trying to do, will not work. Because suicide is a sin. So Jesus had to be completely free of sin before they nailed him up for it to work, for the magic to work. So Judas was essential to the process. And when the other disciples found out, because they didn't know what he had told Judas, well, they strung him up. And St. Peter, he became an alcoholic, which his name was Simon back then. They called him Simon. He only became St. Peter 600 years later when Constantine fucking declared it. Right? So his name was Simon. And Simon was the leader because he had the best oracle type voice. Not because he was the smartest or anything, he just had the best voice. And they listened to his voice. Right? And when Jesus come back over the Sea of Galilee, he found old Simon there, an absolute alcoholic. Because he could have stopped the other disciples from killing Judas, see? And that's what Jesus asked him. He spit in his ear, he said, how are you going, Satan the West? How are you going? Yes, yeah, what can I say? He said, where's Judas? And then they all disbanded. Went this way, that way. Only one, I think, died from natural causes. Only one. Jesus' brother, younger brother. Because Jesus had two brothers with him on that pilgrimage. Two of the brothers were the disciples, his half-brothers. Okay? And there was one that got away, and the rest were all killed. Now, how'd I say, St. Peter said, oh, please hang me upside down. I don't feel worthy of God. No man on earth has to be nailed upside down. Don't be ridiculous. That's just because the Romans wrote it, so they're going to make themselves look good because it was the Romans that executed him. No, they nailed him upside down because the last guy they nailed up the right way, he started doing all the strange shit up and frightened the shit out of him. So each one of those men was killed in the most heinous way. Nothing like Jesus. Okay? And that's a fact. That's a fact. Sitting with Barbara, Kiki, how are you going? Oh, boy. Oh, few of you here. I can see. Just gonna start with this. Okay, Lawrence, speak, concern, set in the west, Odell, Lover, Kiki, Caddy, Barbara. So cool. Yes. Well, what are we going to do about this RALPH the Unwise? Interesting. Because like I said, I don't see the fucking fanfare with him. The fact that he opened up his lips at all, I just think to himself, well, you kind of put your foot in your mouth when you started saying things about old Dell, bud. Confronting him because he won't mess around. This cat is going to get killed. Sorry. Oh, it's annoying. He's trying to rip the flower off the bloody bench here, cat. Well, yes, Mr. RALPH the Unwise. Very unwise of him, that was. How much love do you keep? Yeah, well, that's the truth. That's the truth. I just go and sit in there and I see how I'm not lying when I'm saying this. All these so-called women that are supposed to be attracted to him and all going, Ralph, they're all big tubby asses that can't get none at home, and they're all hoping he's going to get them a piece. I mean, there's nothing special about him, but he got a little bit of a deep voice. I don't think nothing wise about him. He dribbles a lot of shit. He doesn't bring any receipts to the table. And who the fuck is he? I don't see the fanfare. Other than a bunch of very sexually depraved women looking at him in such a fashion. But I don't know. I don't really gauge men like that. That's just the way that is. But yes, open up his mouth and well, now he's fucking got to pay the price. That's as simple as that. And if he doesn't want to come and face us, well, he can't be too wise, and he can't be much of a man, can't be much of anything. And I mean, you look at it, Odell. I looked at all his stuff, and really, you're the only bloke that he's man that he's actually had to go at. All the rest are all women. You know what I'm saying? Or in the gay community, he's a bully. That's all he is. And he thought he could have a rip at you. Silly. Ah, yes. And then you got that's Mr. 82 on the side. He always you go, everywhere I go, I see him. He's there. Fucking everywhere. Everywhere. So he's a bit of an instigator, that man. He's an instigator, definitely true. And he's also in constant contact with Maggie. Of course he is. How do you think she went, come on, Maggie, you know we can make a lot of money by bagging these mob, telling all this information you got. Look, Atwood's paid you a couple of checks. That's why they carried on trying to get him on the thing. Oh, they're from the Atwood group. Oh, they're the Troll Farm. Oh, they're Rock Nation. Fucking none of them are famous enough for even the Garbage Man or Oscar the Grouch to fucking worry about them. Let alone Rock Nation or fucking, you know. Come on, guys. They got this here fucking hype. You know, the only star really is fucking Jaguar. And they're all fucking pieces of crap. Where'd they come from? I never heard them in a concert. You know? They ain't never been in the paper. None of them been Freedom Fighter Awards. What are they? I'm a content creator online, so it means you're a bullshit artist. You know, most will be a politician if you're going to be one of those. Probably pays better. You know what I'm saying? And you got these content creators online that make so much by just regurgitating shit that someone else has done. And that's absolutely crazy. And the original person that does it, like Jag herself, can't make a quid off her own stuff, but all these trolls can. YouTube can stop that at any time, but they don't. They don't. They want to be famous. Yeah, they want to be famous. It's I call it celebrity-itis. Now celebrities will catch a course, and I'm not gonna even quote you about that. Or you should know all about it with Jag. You celebrities have got that little bit of a, you know, bit of a, you know, higher fucking want to things. But that's a celebrity. But I can understand that. But Jag's like more real too, not like these other ones. Won't say boo to you in the street. So she's more relatable, at least. But a celebrity nonetheless. But all these ones online, I mean, look where we found Maggie. Found her there wearing a dress with a fucking flower in her hair, sitting there all quiet, all shy. Anytime you wanted to talk to her, couldn't talk, couldn't handle it. Now look at her. She's sitting there swearing off a box, yelling at you, calling you all types of names. Complete, out the flip, that one. Jag is about the truth, that's right. And that's it. 16 months is going on now. And I haven't, you know. She's always told the truth, guys. And if she has made a mistake, often or not, she'll say so and apologize. You know, but when it comes to what them trolls and are doing, no, what they say about her, she hasn't done any of that I know of, that I've seen of. Basically, they keep slinging shit at her, but it just keeps coming straight back off onto them. You got other content creators saying, oh, they can't do nothing. I never read, they can't prove nothing. AT2 say, I never did nothing to Jag, but yet he's saying, oh, I set Jag up. I was part of that. Oh, and he's fucking laughing about it. But he says he never actually truly did anything to Jag, and it's all psychological in the fucking head. Well, unless I'm in Jaguar's head, how the fuck am I seeing it as well? I'm sure there's mods out there that mod for Jag, and yourself will do. You just see it as well. I don't even need to tell you. You probably get frustrated that you're trying to tell the world that this does happen and they don't fucking listen. And that's crazy. And that's crazy. And I can't understand that. It just shows you how much hate. They rather do it the easy, quick hate way than the hard yards good way. And that's the facts. It's just like the Jedi and the Sith. The Jedi would take time to do things, but the Sith would do it more quick and easier. You know? Simple as that. And that's how it is. Being good and fighting for good is a hard thing. It always is, because you're outnumbered by the amount of evil that you have to face. And it's only if you can sway some of that evil to your side or defeat them in a proper battle where people must die that you can actually get your point across. Such a terrible thing. But we're going to find that out. We can't just keep sitting back waiting for the Uber government to fucking fix itself. You know? We can't keep expecting the next person in is going to be better than the last one. Because they're not. They never have been. They never have been. And over here, like they got over in America, they don't even think voting's fucking... No, they want a system where voting people don't have to vote. Just the rich, the hierarchy in the Senate, choose who's to be the president. Which is fucking no way. You don't even trust them as it is. And then they're going to choose which pelican they're going to chuck up top. Look what you got. I mean, if you didn't have such a system, right, where votes actually made a difference, if you didn't really, I mean, they say, oh, voters, no, not really. They choose out of lot. And with the American, well, they choose by bloodline. Who's the closest to King George? Sorry about that. There's only two people that ever were not part of that bloodline in the American presidency. And Australia down here, well, the name itself was Illuminati made, Freemasonry made. AU for gold, ST for star, RA for Ra, the sun god, and LIA is Latin for land. So when you say it in the Illuminati way, it's the bloody golden land under the star of Ra. So the land's at the end of the word, and it's the golden land at the front. And you got star of Ra, and see it's the land under the star of Ra, even in the fucking word. See, that's Illuminati. You got to come up with, there's no Captain Australia or Sir fucking Australia or Mr. Australia, or the kid come up with it in the bloody competition. That was well thought out. You have a look at Canberra. They're set out like a big pentagram. Funny that. And our Parliament building, well, you see how it's got the big giant spire that comes out of it? Well, directly underneath that spire, if you really want to know, there'll be a point there where you can't access through, because that's where the elevator into the bunker is. So the only way to stop a bunker buster is you've got to have about 40 foot of titanium steel to stop it. That's a 50-foot titanium pole. You see that? Vividly designed to take a hit, direct hit from a nuclear warhead. You know, more earth come out of there than what you have available. But that's another thing. America's like that too. All these hidden facilities. And one day, some of us may be dragged down there to live when this war and that keeps escalating. Because it will. It's going to. No always saying, let's stop it, let's stop it. We've got a book to run there. We might need to run some of it. Get it out of the way and done with, so we can get to the next page. We're going to be stuck on the same fucking page like a record. And evil will just constantly win. We say, they run the government, they run the industry, they run the police, they run everything. And it's not so much Satan, because man has his hand on this too, you know. Man worked this out a long time ago, like I'm trying to tell you now. Not just between God and Satan. Man has his hands on it. So man could literally turn his back on both of them and cut them right out of the picture. And there are evil men that are out there trying to do that all for themselves. Satan's getting around taking them out because he wants to be the guy, of course. He uses them, but like I said, he's not in control of all the evil. People blame him for all the evil. Well, no, he's not. Right? Man has his hands on this. And we have our own choice to be good or evil. Satan doesn't make you evil. God doesn't make you good. That's up to you. That's your choice. Fucking they can't take responsibility for your bullshit. You understand? Makes any sense? That's why God's infallible. Poor devil's just got a bad rap because no one wants to take responsibility for their own demon inside. Each man and woman is responsible for their own soul. The light that you're given, the way that you wield it, is your responsibility. God will accept no responsibility on your actions or your decisions. And Satan may sway you, But he cannot accept the responsibility too, because it's you that makes the decision to follow him. You see? When you start to learn that you are the one to blame, then you might be able to understand. But a lot of people flatly refuse that. Oh, I can't be the one to blame. I'll white lie my way right through life. Just like basically you could see them take $20 out of your wallet and you say, hey, just took $20 out of my wallet. I said, no, I didn't. Now argue the point, no, they didn't. All these people saying, well, prove that he did it. Prove that he took it. I said, well, it's got my name on it, $20 he's got in his hand. Oh, that's bullshit. You know? You haven't got a photo of that on fucking Facebook. So how do we know that's not right? That's why it's funny with me. I'm not on Facebook. Not on all the other fucking bullshit. Because it's a lot of crap to me. TikTok, YouTube, that's it. I got one message platform and I talk to one person on that. And I don't interact with anything else on that platform. And that is it. And that is it. I have no need for it. No need for that. To me, it's like a fucking chain. It binds you. Makes you more lethargic. Less likely to get up and go and get something. I know it's in fucking very handy. Very handy indeed, a phone. In fact, they've made it such a thing that now, well, you can't really live without one. Right? Unless you go back to the Stone Age and be a total dickhead. Or a drunk in the street that doesn't care. But even the drunks in the street got fucking $2,000 iPhone. So how you work that one out? Sitting there, all scabs all over him, needle train up his arm and that, no pants all hanging down, all dirty and scruffy. And he pulls out the brand new $2,000 iPhone, checking out his TikTok account. But that's the world we live in. So, it'll be interesting to see what O'Dell does with this RALPH the Unwise character. Be interesting. I watched the replay. Yes. Because I know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do my bit of research. And then I'll do my drop bear attack on him. Well, I'll just drop into that chat with a bit of knowledge that can't be denied. And you'll see the whole chat goes quiet for about 3 seconds. Sometimes a lot longer. And then they react. And then they argue which one has to evict me or get him out because none of them want to do it. If I go on the Maggie's chat, the moment she sees my name, even I just went hi or put an asterisk in there, she'd take that out the chat and she wouldn't say a thing. She wouldn't even acknowledge that that happened. She's afraid. Afraid of the truth. I never did anything to her. Neither did Nick. And neither did Auntie Lee. But we were treated like shit. Like we fucking, beat her with sticks or something. And how long has she known Jag? 20 minutes at best. And she's been going on a whole year about this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that, and nothing's been ever proven or has ever going to be proven. Everything that's come out of that woman's mouth has been nothing but fucking trolled activity, stirring, creating the side fucking picking bullshit, and pure lies. Such a waste of talent. The reason why Jag was attracted to her in the first place is because she was talented and she could research and find the truth. Now, that's what they've lie, her, ATT, Danny the Robot, and all the rest of those fuckwits come up with. And that's all the end of the day they are. They're not stars, they're not special, they're not informative, they're not the be-all and end-all of fucking knowledge. In fact, you get more knowledge out of a grain of sand than you would out of all of them together. You just want to go there like a bully, listen to the hype, flip your mouth from fucking fans like a seal, Go right the fuck ahead. Because I'm going to start looking at these people that go follow them. And I'm going to watch all the names in the chat, and I'm going to put them down. When I see them in other chats, I'm going to wipe them out if I'm a fucking moderator. Because if you're going to listen to her, fucking, I don't want you around me. Right? Simple as that. You're going to listen to any of their bullshit, give them money, monetize them, you know? You're going to monetize them. Yeah, well, that's it. You're going to monetize them and all that there, fucking help them and that, and you're going to come over there. No, fuck you. You can stay there. We'll treat you like that. That's how it's going to be. If they want to play this, then we'll just start selecting. Seriously. I will. I'll sit down there one night, and I thought about it for weeks, and I thought about it for months. Sit back and take all these names down. You know? I'll sort them out. And then they wouldn't know what the fuck to do then. Because a lot of people that got their name there are reluctant to actually face things. They'll say in the chat, oh yes, bag you to the hilt. But when it comes to actually confronting that person, they shitty bum. They won't say nothing at all. Too shitty ass. And a lot of people, for the sake of having company, just for the sake of having company, because they have their own pathetic, miserable lives, will sit there and gladly clap their hands like a seal by someone's bullying another person. Just to have the feeling of being part of something. And that's just what it is. Trolls are that way. Trolls are lonely, and that's why they congregate. Well, I'm supposed to be driving, but I was going to be on 5 minutes. I've been on nearly an hour, but that's good. At least get that watch hours up. Okay, I'm going to go through a lot. Odell, some accounts are coming back after you. Yes, and some new people are coming through too. Every so often, YouTube will stop sending messages to your bloody old bloody subs, and they'll send it out to a whole new bunch of subs. And that's not so much to try and help you build your channel, so they can make fucking money. And I know that through Roma. She says it's just, you know, every year you get a whole bunch of new people you've never seen before. And it's not like they haven't been online, it's just, you know, they haven't been directed that way. And you've got to find out a lot of these things, you're directed to a certain direction on this here. It's only going to give you so much, I'm only going to show you so much, unless you go in there and purposely research to what you're going to be chasing. They'll put up any type of shit and keep you to one direction. And each one's got an AI program in it that you're using. That AI program is profiling you. So it knows what you like to watch, who you like to fucking watch on live, and if you're a bit of a menace online, they know who to keep you away from. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's how it operates. Yes, that's exactly how it operates. It doesn't operate any other way. And whether it's interaction with a human or not, they do have their hands on it. It's run by the AI system, the program that they have in. It just bloody profiles you. Once it's profiled you, that's it. We'll just keep pumping you in that direction. You know, that's why my shorts, yes, they're very fanciful and they're funny, but you have a look at what's really going on. You know, like I said, why are those people there with this RALPH character? Because YouTube's been profiling them on their thing and been sending them that way. So what's so interesting about that? Right? They're trying to, like I said, they're trying to, you know, get them going together under one group, under one person, and now they'll use that one to go who they want to get rid of on YouTube. It's a very nasty, evil game, but YouTube's the one that directs you around nonetheless, most of the time, and that's a fact. I mean, I follow the same things a lot of other people follow, but I've never seen this fucking RALPH the Wise until I had to go and look for the prick. So they kept him away from me. They keep those ones away from me. They keep the AT2 titties and all them away from me. I watch their stuff just to keep up what they're doing. Not sit there in a chat. I just have a quick look, a revision. I only have to listen to a few sentences to know where their fucking level is, where they're on the stick. But yes, you know, Very strange. They don't like to bring them to me. And then them people, they don't like to face me. I'll even take off the mask for them. Oh, actually, that's good because they're sweaty. So, they don't even want to face me. So the so-called men that like picking on women, well, why can't they face me? They can't even face you, Adele. You put up the offer. Ain't no RALPH the Unwise. No, I think RALPH the Unwise sit back on his channel with his bum tight. He sits there going off a Vita Goddess. Yes, Vita Goddess is bloody, a trans man. Fair enough. But like I tried to say to you, you know why? You know why he's going so off one men that wait? Because he's not going off like a normal man that doesn't like them. Because a normal man doesn't like him, he say, fuck off, I don't have nothing to do with you, and that'll be it. The way he's counting, well, it's a bit funny, you see. And I just made no joke about that sort of thing. I said, well, maybe he likes you, he's actually attracted to you, but he's fucking conflicted because you're fucking, you've got an extra part. So I just quoted, he's sitting in the toilet looking at you on the phone. None of them understood what I meant, why he's sitting on the toilet looking at her on the phone. You know what I mean? He was playing with something. let's just put it that way. And I could see it in his eye. You hear it in his voice. Right? And if you put him on a lie detector test, you'll find I'm right. So that's the reason why he fucking bullies that one. He got a problem in himself there, see? He won't ever admit that. That's why he does be violent towards him. That's the fucking age-old one. That science hasn't changed, Just because society hasn't changed, that hasn't changed that thinking. No? It's like in that movie Dogma. No, well, it is. It's like in that movie Dogma, how bloody, what's his name? Chris Rock, the one that come down from heaven, one of the disciples, he reckons he was saying to the white guy, he says, yeah, he said, I know something about you. You're the one that plays with yourself more than any other person on bloody earth. But I know something else. And he says, what? You think about men while you're doing it. And old Silent Bob just looking at him. Silent Bob just looking, what the fuck? But that's the truth. Some people are like that. And that's just the way that is. We have to accept that. We have to accept that. As long as they're not fucking bothering you, not in your face about it, that's one thing where we've gone way overboard. We can have that woke stuff, but there's a point. There's got to be a limit to there's a limit to everything, guys. And we've gone way over that limit. When they're putting it in your face and promoting it to your kids before the age of 13, we've got an issue. A major one. All right? And that's the fact. Unfortunately, that's the fact. We will naturally know what you're going to be when you grow up. You take all that sexuality stuff of any type out of school until at least 13, and they can play that old video in front of you. No, what they always play. With a cartoon guy in the bed playing, all the crap that you see when you're 13. But when I was a 13-year-old boy getting that education up at high school, we had a lady called Mrs. Tuxford come in. And Mrs. Tuxford, she used to come in those tight, real short, lycra fucking aerobics clothes with the G-string fucking bit on the outside. And she comes in here, puts the bag down and bends over like that there, and we don't need to know much more about sexual education, miss. I think we just found out everything we need to know. And she knew what she was doing. Hey? But fucking good class. Good class. It was a good class. Yeah, we also had what's the name? Bloody Steve Malaxis, who's a football player. We had his wife, and she actually won the competition run up the bloody Empire State twice, the female bloody part of it, and she was fit as a mallee bull. Well, we had some really, they were really good sports teachers, those ladies, and they knew we was looking at them. They're not that stupid. You don't come there as a sports lady to a bunch of 15 or 13-year-olds that dressed like that. Come on now. Nowadays, if they did that at school, we're all over them. You can't do that. You can't do this. Back when I was going to school up at high school, they used to measure the fucking girls' skirts. And if the girls' skirts weren't a certain length, they had to go home and change it. right? So they weren't allowed to be too short. Now you go up there, right, and they're walking around basically with two hankies tied together. You know? A couple of fucking hankies or a flannel for a skirt. That's just it. Well, been on for an hour. Thanks, guys. Set West. You guys. What's his name? Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat. Kitty Cat. Right? Jim Larrison. Thanks for coming in, guys. Got to go and do this drive now. Probably have a quick drink before water and that. Maybe make a coffee, make sure I'm still awake. It's about a 2-hour drive. And yeah, just to be safe and sorry. I'm usually pretty good driving. I don't drive bloody fatigued. I've actually been out too many accidents, people falling asleep behind the handle. When you rock out there, it's just bloody chunks. It's not a nice thing to see. Right, so RALPH the Unwise. Maggie, fucking back again. No worries, good guys. And, Golden, well, what can I say? Old Greyhawk's fucking fooling. I'll never do that. I'll never go back to Maggie Michael. Nah, she done her piece of me. Now she's fucking right there. And she's writing that Ralph's chat. Oh, Ralph, you're the fucking messiah, Ralph. Can you help me build my channel? I need some subs. Because that's all it ever used to do to me. Exactly the same thing. Same thing. Right? Better get into here, try to buddy you up. Because it only wants to build his channel. Don't give a fuck about you. And he'll go back to his fucking ex or whatever, the fucking father of his kid. And say, fucking, he says, no, just shut up, Ike. And he gives her a crack and she shuts up. That's what's happening there. Can't help that. Right, this is the Archangel Michael. Can't help that. Signing off for now. And RALPH the Wise, if you're watching, it's very unwise that you went at Odell. It was unwise that you went at Vida too. But going at Odell now, well, you got to deal with him. And me too. Forget that. This is Archangel Michael signing off for now. Stay safe. Thanks, guys.